Welcome back to Coriander Society, Shadow of the Spider Moon. Our intrepid heroes are on board the ship. What'd you name the ship? What was in the suggestion box? Changing Hands. Nobody's been able to pull a name out of the suggestion box to rename it because the suggestion box is locked. But nonetheless, our heroes are on their way to the Spider Moon with a hold full of illicit technology, supposedly to trade to the dark elves of that world. They've just learned that the great families of the dark elf city of Xogotha are plotting against each other to seize this technology. Now, we have a couple of things to attend to before we make our way there. First, I'm going to go ahead and let you know what Streamloots cards have been played. Magic item. And this is something that's been, I think we'll just go ahead and give you something from the hold of the ship, something that was a treasure from Ashen. So once we're done with this, I'll go ahead and roll for that. Triple threat. The first character who sings gets inspiration, the first character who dances gets inspiration, and the first character who acts gets inspiration. Slakura has been summoned, so Asena's slime buddy from the anime world of Yokai Blossom is going to make an appearance. And the last card that's been played is Screw the Rules, I Have Money. Meaning that you are allowed to spend money to literally break the rules. You can spend gold to buy inspiration, whatever you want to negotiate with. Your character you can get rid of character's wealth in exchange for in-game benefits. You can literally screw the rules because you have money. All these are in effect. Keep these in mind as we proceed with our adventure. Speaking of proceeding with our adventure, is there anything else, any other scenes that you want these characters to have, either continuing the last scene or any other scenes before you arrive at your destination at the Spider Moon?
I think we're pretty good to move on.
I've said all I needed to say.
Yeah, I think Sena would have pulled John aside and told him about, what the dead guy said.
Oh, yeah, good call. Okay, so effectively we're going to be helping this drow by betraying their family by keeping the things that they were going to steal. Is that right?
Yeah, we don't really have to do any betraying because we already are.
I mean, that's the easiest quest line I've ever heard in my life. Just stay the course.
But, I mean, confirmation that the captain is betraying us is good, even though, he told us himself.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of a given. So we're at this point just trying to transition that when the time comes. We'll cross that bridge when the time comes. But at least for now, they're using us, we're using them. And, before the end, hopefully we'll have assassinated this advisor to the Dark Elf Court.
At least
how we're going to find our way back, I don't know.
I never know the way back.
But at least we know, what was that, Asena?
I don't know. Forgot.
Well, at the very least, as long as you can buy me a minute, I can always summon us up a portal back to Perianth, so we can at least get back to the court of Luris in a pinch.
They aren't coming after us or know about us. That's what I was going to say.
Oh, good. That's fantastic. Our cover's not blown yet.
They just know about our tech and what we have.
Great.
That's kind of different, right?
Yeah, that is a little different. But at least we're currently safe, which is a bonus. I mean, we're in a den of thieves, pirates, cutthroats, and smugglers, but probably, look, we just blew open the side of a Death Spider ship. I think we'll be fine. Everyone here is pretty confident that we need to make it through until the captain's able to convince them otherwise. And, for his traitorous faults, I think the captain is a very fine fellow, wouldn't you agree?
Sure. Yep.
John, roll insight.
I will do this thing that you ask of me. A 16.
Sarcasm detected.
I definitely can't tell why there's been so many mutinies amongst this crew.
Yeah, I was going to say, that 5 in the last month, my goodness. That's insane. I can't believe it, to be honest. But well, at least we know that the crew, if they are loyal to each other, they're not loyal to their leadership. We can always use that to our advantage. Hey, before the end of this, maybe one of us will be the captain of this vessel. You know what I mean?
Sure. Why doesn't Dargan just be the captain?
Sure.
I pull Glebnor aside and I say, I like the cut of that dragon's jib. I think he could be captain one day.
Are you feeling threatened, sir? Do you need me to do something about it?
No, Glebnor. Just admiring the cut of his jib.
Indeed, sir. But what's the jib?
Find that out for me, would you?
Yes, sir.
Is the captain saying this right as Dargan's just devouring the pieces of leftover drow?
Just eating the mess from the windshield wipers.
Ah, yes, they'd make a fine captain indeed.
Look, they can't possibly be worse than the last few. Anything else before we zoom our way through space?
I'm good.
Aside from Dargan eating and John and Asena catching up on where they stand, yeah, I think we're probably pretty good.
All right. Captain, your faithful first mate has not yet discovered what a jib is, despite going from person to person. But they did manage to recover the instructions that you crumpled up and threw overboard, and they've carefully unstuck them and are reading them out as you approach this planet. This planetoid orbiting Perionth. Unlike the lush, mist-covered forests of the world it orbits, the spider moon is barren and blasted with years and years, centuries of meteor impacts. Barely anything grows on the surface. What scarce water can be found is mostly underground. Horrifying scavengers and creatures crawl across the crust of this world, seeking what nourishment they can, preying on each other. And the dark elves themselves have made their home underground in the massive networks of canyons and caves that can be found just below the surface. Glebnor, sort of sitting over your shoulder, stretching his plasmoid head up so that he can see everything, is gently, surreptitiously making it seeming like it's your idea, Lee, trying to give you directions to go ahead and navigate through. Why don't you give me a sea vessel's skill check to guide your vessel?
Okay, sea vessel, sea vessel.
Your character's actually very good at this.
I gotta be good at something. Is that a dexterity or?
Yeah, with dexterity. So when you click on sea vessels, go ahead and select dexterity when it prompts you.
Okay.
Be on the left-hand side under tools. A
Yeah.
26.
Pull it around.
All right. The ship slowly floats downwards between two high, sharp cliffs in a space that you wouldn't be able to see from the surface if you weren't specifically looking for it. And this is not the Galaxy Quest scene where the ship goes and gets ground along the side. You bring it down nice and careful, and the crew will lower the anti-gravity anchor that plummets to the ground, and as soon as it hits the ground, gravity is arrested for the ship, and it floats, just like a ship at sea. I think we just wait now?
Yes. Read those instructions to me again. Something about a slime river where your family is from. Is that right, Glebnor?
Actually, we're the descendants of amoeboids that grew in the chain of tears, sir. I
Don't
know.
bore me with your personal stories, Glebnor. I just want to know what's going on.
Of course, sir. You can hear the sounds of rushing goo. Rushing is the wrong word. Slowly slithering goo somewhere far below.
I hear the rapids.
Not rapid at all rapids, yes.
The gelatin rapids of Xogotha.
Naming them that now. Gelatin rapids. Moments later, Captain, you hear a voice in your head.
God?
You will send a small crew of your most trusted, including yourself, Captain, with the cargo, set down on the ledge below. We will inspect the goods there, and if they meet our prerequisites, you will receive the agreed upon award.
Salty Jimbo, Glebnor, and Handsome Jimbo. So Salty Jimbo twice. Get your handsome ass onto that boat and bring down the cargo. We have some work to do. And bring a shovel.
All right. Salty Jimbo and Glebnor head down to the hold to start bringing out the supplies. The metal crates containing the salvaged technology. As they're
That's some white people talk.
it's reclaimed. It's
Discovered.
refurbished. Exactly. Discovered. Do you have a flag? No. No flag, no country. All right.
Captain Izzard.
You heard the captain give those orders, John and Asena, and you see Glebnor and Salty Jimbo going to move the supplies, but you were not party to this mental conversation. You've also arrived at your destination. Theoretically, what would you like to do?
Captain, if you have but a moment.
Yes, what is it?
Well, since we've arrived, I believe this is where the smuggling begins. You'll be escorting us into the city to ensure we can get to the next leg of our destination. Is that right?
Yes, that's right, Master Carmichael. We have, like I've mentioned before, we have disguises, armaments, armor, and anything else you need for protection. You can trust me.
Yes, I'm certain I can. Where would you like us to fall into formation, Captain, sir?
Why don't you fall in behind Glebnor there? He'll show you what to do. Give you the ropes.
As you say. And, gosh, let's see. No, we'll leave it at that for now.
Okay. What preparations do you want to make before you descend down with the cargo into the crevasse? Disguises, anything else, etc.
I put on a rainbow clown wig.
Fun
There,
fact.
and-
Canonically, in Dungeons and Dragons, in Spelljammer, there are space clowns.
Yeah, that's true.
They're expecting not clowns down there. So when we show up as clowns,
It's brilliant,
We'll get-
sir.
we'll get the surprise on them.
So
John-
should we be like changing our outfits? Or are you the only clown?
I'm captain of a ship. I'm far from a clown. See, that's why it's a disguise. I'm a very
Okay.
serious figure here.
You know what? You're in charge. I'll just stand here.
That's what I usually
Wow.
do.
It's good to see you fall into line. I put a red nose on and honk it twice.
John goes to take his position behind Glebnor and is going to lean in close and whisper to the plasmoid sailor. Glebnor, you seem to be a rather intelligent fellow. You understand what my associate and I are capable of, and both you and your captain have made it very obvious that there are at least plans for betrayal as we make our way into the city. With a host of enemies, an entire army of dark elves set against us.
Not to interrupt, sir, Mr. Carmichael, sir. Do you have children?
I'm not sure. Why is that of any import to our conversation?
I myself have reproduced asexually on multiple occasions, but mammals and other species do not raise their children like plasmoids do, and I've learned a lot from their ways. You see, Mr. Carmichael, when you have children, it's very important. If you don't want them to do something, you just need to make sure they don't even think about it. You need to direct their attention elsewhere, so until some other whim catches upon them. I can assure you I have no plans of betraying you. It's just that the captain's thoughts are inscrutable. And they
That's a
shift
word, yes.
with the astral winds themselves. So I usually just say whatever it takes to keep us on course.
Does John believe what Glebnor is saying?
Roll an insight check.
Because Matt definitely believes it. I'm hanging on to Glebnor's every word. I can tell he's a trustworthy fellow. John's a bit more insightful than I am, though, so perhaps he may see with a 31 something
John,
that I
you've
don't.
deduced the following. First off, Glebnor is being completely sincere. Second, Glebnor is 100% loyal to the captain.
So from what I understand is that while there are no plans at a betrayal, and while Glebnor is going to do everything in their power to try and convince the captain away from such a avenue of thought, if it happens, Glebnor is ride or die.
Yes. If all other ends fail, if Glebnor fails to distract the captain from betraying you and taking all of your things for no, then sorry, sir, Glebnor has to ride or die.
John's going to sigh and kind of just nod at Glebnor. You know, Captain Flig is very lucky to have a friend like you, Glebnor. John turns an eye towards Asena, smiles, and looks back to Glebnor. It's good to have friends you can trust.
I wonder what that's like.
Well, you can trust the captain to always have their best interests and thereby yours in their forefront of their mind, it seems.
Glebnor, I just blew my nose. Does this arouse you in any way? Boogers, is that like porn to you? Because you're a booger.
Very, very, very good, sir.
I'm funny.
Plasmoids can't blush. And if they facepalm, it's just sort of a blah, 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 blah. All right. Are you ready to head overboard with the dinghy?
I think we are. John's just going to catch up Asena on what he found out from Glebnor, and that it seems as though the flights of fancy is mostly what we have to worry about here.
All hands on the dinghy. I want all my seamen on the dinghy.
Captain, we're not going to be able to fit everybody in, sir.
Small dinghy.
I
Okay.
never said that about you, sir.
Yeah. Well, you're too kind, Glebnor. Well,
It'll just
I
about
don't-
fit all of you plus Glebnor and Salty Jimbo.
Oh, good.
But it won't fit the rest
This
of
is
the
our
crew.
best
That's what
crew.
I'm saying.
This is our best crew. The four of us and Salty Jimbo.
And Salty Jimbo, correct.
the best of
The
the
only
best.
one. The
Best
only
of
one
the
who remembers all the captains, all five of the captains that we've had.
All right. Shall we away?
Indeed, we shall. John takes his plastic peg leg and just kind of straps it on the front of his boot. Throws on an eye patch and
Lower us down, men.
Good.
Now row forward. Salty Jim.
The dinghy, in fact, is designed for landing on water planets, and the gelatinous river is not quite in sight. But nonetheless, Salty Jimbo and Glebnor are doing their best to row through the dirt. After several moments, there's a snap, and the cable of the rope far above falls all the way down, landing directly on Glebnor. Reconstitutes himself after a moment. Oi, the dinghy! You see a face poking over the side of the ship. Actually, multiple faces. Almost the entire crew looking over the ship. Ahoy, the dinghy!
Ahoy, ahoy!
Not you! You, lightning man and cannon person.
Me?
Are you
Yes,
talking to
you.
us? What do
Up
you
on
need?
that there dragon and come on back.
Why?
Because we want that payday you was talking about.
We weren't talking to you about anything.
Oh, you said all those fancy words at dinner, didn't you?
Indeed, and when we've safely returned from a mission and back to Perianth, you'll be rewarded handsomely.
They didn't say nothing about any mission, just dropping off and making this trade.
Right you are there, sailor. And John is going to take out a pad of paper and write a very brief but very specific missive to the King of Perianth and Dogalot of Flores, that this group that under Captain Flig of the Changing Hand is to receive compensation for their mission and to please deliver it post-haste when they return to the world of Perianth. And within the actual missive, John's going to include a cipher that basically says, these dudes suck. Throw them in jail.
Write that in the memo of the check.
And he's going to mage hand it over to the sailor that was inquiring about it.
Oh, they're like, what's the range on Mage Hand?
Mage hand has an initial casting range of 30 feet. How far are we?
Like 120 feet down.
You just
So-
throw it up in the air and it falls back down.
Hand lasts for the duration until you dismiss it. It vanishes if it's ever more than 30 feet away from you. Okay, so it can go 30 feet further. Let's see. Hold on a moment. I can do this. I'm a wizard. I don't have to leave my ship.
Ball it up and throw it up there.
Yeah, can I kind of paper airplane this? Aren't we still in the astral winds, or are we down on
No,
the planet now?
you're planet side now. You're planet side, so gravity is in effect. You think we ought to tell the captain? Yeah, we ought to say, Captain,
Yes!
we're marooning you. You're being marooned right now.
What? That's my ship!
Not anymore, it isn't.
Ah!
Thanks for the wine. We appreciate it.
A mutiny!
Who could have seen this coming?
Ah!
John holds up the IOU about 30 feet, and as soon as they start talking about mutiny, he goes, "Oh, well, get it yourself." And he has the mage hand throw it like a paper airplane, like away from where they are.
Oi,
There's your money, sailing off into the wind.
No, we're not No, you dragon people. We're not marooning you. You can come on back. We're just marooning the captain.
Yeah, but we
Oh,
need to
that
be
makes
here, though.
sense.
The captain wants to be with you, and we want to be here. You understand the predicament?
And we want to get paid. So you come back right now or we'll maroon the lot of you.
Well, then maroon us. We don't need you anymore.
Did you just say maroon us? We're on the spider moon. Right? Oh well. Hole still full of elven wine? Yep. All right. See ya. And they start cranking up the anchor.
Captain's log. Date 27. This is the first entry of Captain's log, so I'm starting it off on the wrong foot. It seems that I've been mutinied and am no longer the captain, thereby ending Captain's log. And I throw the recorder over my shoulder.
Mate, I didn't realize there was an anchor there. If I could just attach the note to the anchor, I really want them to go back to Perry and get arrested for this.
Yeah, you can stick the note on the anchor. That's fine.
Perfect. I do just that.
I run and try to hang on to the anchor. Take me with you. I'll be demoted. Just
If they notice you hanging on there, they're just gonna start flying and like dragging the anchor with you on it, just like.
I lose grip and fall in the mud.
John's gonna try to move to catch the captain if the plasmoid doesn't.
Oh yeah, Glepnor's gonna like flail, and actually, when Glepnor's on the move, Glepnor moves pretty fast. We've got a movement speed of 40.
Oh wow.
Oh, well, Glubnor used to be on track and field.
It's what they call it when you're running across an asteroid from a hungry Formian.
Ooh, Formian's nasty business.
Well,
well, Glubnor, it's just you, me, and Salty Jimbo now.
it would
Well,
seem so,
We're
sir.
still here.
Oh, right, and the new people. Well,
Wait,
we have
hold
the
on.
best.
You're the new people, aren't you? Because you've been marooned and now you're with us, so right?
It depends on your perspective.
And entirely depends on you're right. It's the eye of the beholder and all that.
You see Jimbo pointing at each of you one at a time and counting on his fingers.
I mean, you don't think you're still the captain, do you? You don't have a ship?
Well, I have this dinghy.
Right.
So if you want to get anywhere on my dinghy, you have to answer to me.
You're going to need the recorder then.
Glebnor, go fetch my recorder.
Very good, sir.
John's gonna try to infer what our friend Salty Jimbo was trying to tell them.
All right.
About the five of us and the ship, the boat, the dinghy.
There are
Oh,
three
against two.
members of the crew: Glebnor, Salty Jimbo, and the captain.
Yes.
There are two of you, John and Asena.
Yes.
Therefore, you're the new people. That's what the subtitles
see.
say when he's speaking the language of mustache.
Okay, so John is gonna he doesn't know mustache, but John knows scruff, and John's gonna try and scruff back to and he's saying that 4 beats 3. There's 2 of us, and then our 2 companions, the dragon and the cat. So if we're going by a numbers game, you lose.
Jimbo eyes the cat, scowls, eyes the dragon, and reluctantly holds up a finger, putting it at 3 and 3.
Did I mention my cat can use a sword? And when Jimbo looks down, there's a sword in Kester's mouth.
Jimbo drops all of his fingers, reaches into his coat, and pulls
Drops his fingers?
Yeah, they all no, not like they fall off. He just like lowers his hands. All right. Even he didn't actually follow the command to amputate himself, but he stops counting and just takes a swig out of his hidden flask.
That's a good idea. I take a swig out of my hidden flask as well.
John agrees. That's an incredible idea. And he magics a pretend hidden flask from inside of his jacket and takes
Just
a
an
swig.
illusion of.
Just an illusionary hidden flask.
Jimbo looks at Asena and silently offers her his flask.
I'm not going to drink from the flask.
He shrugs.
Aye, aye, Jimbo. Now, let's get back to rowing this treasure to the drop-off point. Men, forward row.
Well, I think out of anyone here, the woman would actually be the best at doing the rowing. She's clearly the strongest of all of us here.
This is a water vessel that is run aground on the dusty crevasse of the Spider Moon. Nobody's
Look, okay,
rowing.
that was
no
not
water.
specified to me.
Sorry, I thought I made that clear
Or
earlier.
by a body of water. My apologies.
Nope.
No. Instead, John is going to summon his trusty flaming chariot.
Okay. John speaks some words, and a literal flaming chariot, like something out of the friggin' Bible, appears, drawn by horses made of fire and light. I would like all three of you, please, to roll perception checks.
Now, hold on a moment. Where are we? Are we right outside the city? Where are we located?
Let me see if I can drop you somewhere.
Because first we're in like a canyon of dirt, and now we're apparently right next to a major metropolis. I just want to make sure I know where we're doing this.
No, the drop-off point is implied to be near Xogotha, but Xogotha is underground. The drop-off point, from the drop-off point, you can still see the sky.
Okay.
It was implied that the drow were coming to meet you here.
I see. Okay.
A 9 for the good captain. What about the rest of you?
Does John get one or no?
All of you get one.
Oh, perfect.
So Asena also roll.
19 for John.
19 from John and 23.
Perceptive group.
Okay. Asena, you hear them first. Soft footsteps of creatures deliberately moving slowly and carefully to avoid being spotted. You can also tell they're invisible.
Well, here they come.
You've been forewarned that they are on their way. The captain is wearing a rainbow clown wig. How are the rest of you attired?
Just a quick query.
Yes.
This perception, does it happen before John summons a blazing chariot? I thought we were leaving.
That's kind of why I brought it up.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah,
I
realized
I thought
I should
to make
let
our
you-
way out.
I realized I should before we summon, freaking trumpets and stuff, I should give you a chance to notice that they're on their way.
Oh, perfect. Well, then, yeah, as soon as Asena gives us the heads up that we have incoming characters, John's going to put himself on high alert. He keeps his hand held of his... this time he's going to hold on to Kruntaka and be ready for anything to go south. Asena, can you tell where they're coming from?
There's a group to the northwest and a group to the southeast, Asena.
They're coming from up and downish.
Are they close?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, good to know. I hope you're all ready for this. Did we know that once we arrived, mate, that there was going to be some sort of secret word, password, some kind of...
Glipnor looks through the notes that he's been reading that he saved from the captain throwing overboard multiple times and shakes their blobby head. It is to arrive for the exchange.
Okay, so here's the plan. Captain, you're still the captain. We
Yes,
were not
that's right.
marooned. We are merely just the four-party, and the rest of the crew is just going to find a good vantage point and are waiting for our signal.
Good plan.
Anything else? Or are you good to go?
John's just keeping an eye out and has his hand on his gun, reached inside of his jacket.
Okay. 2 drow appear, voluntarily dropping their invisibility. And then you can see footprints in the dust. Very casual, confident footprints approaching between the two of them.
Okay. Kind of like this?
Yeah.
Okay.
And a drow with white hair, a very nice coat, collar that sort of comes up and then folds all the way back down and around. Impeccable tailoring on that whole thing. It sort of splits down at the bottom and almost into two, like an old-fashioned coat. Tails, I guess. I don't know what else you would call that. Like coat tails, yeah.
Hmm.
At either side of his hips are 2 flintlock pistols. And he's wearing a bandolier with several more flintlock pistols all loaded in it. Ah, Captain. Oh, Captain, my Captain. What have you brought us today?
Well, I have brought the cargo we discussed.
Sure you don't mind if I just take a quick peek to make sure it's the genuine article.
Not at all. Look under this blanket that I have over it.
As this conversation is taking place, 4 other drow emerge from invisibility to the northwest. They stand at a distance, hands on their weapons, but not immediately approaching. The drow gunslinger will go ahead and walk all the way up to take a look. Giving each of you an eye in turn. Paying a particular attention to any weapons that you're carrying. What obvious weapons does each of you have, if any?
I have a pistol, a light crossbow, a rapier, and a net.
All right. John, what weapons are obviously displayed right now?
The only weapon that John has obviously displayed is when the drow gunslinger gets close enough. They would see that John's hand is reaching behind their coat and is just resting comfortably on a very fine but very odd looking revolver.
Asena.
Okay, Asena has a very obvious armored pack on her entire body. It's not in the siege mode, but it's on her back. She's got a shotgun, a smart laser, the pole axe.
It's a walking artillery. It's like your whole back is just like tank cannons and gigantic like high-tech weapons. And
but we've got some really nice backpacks to where it all like just kind of fits really nicely.
Yes, from LL Bean, we have kind of nice.
The latest in armament management. All right. He walks all the way around you once, Asena. Just looking at everything. Not at you, at your weapons.
I'll glare at him.
He takes the blanket, shoves it aside, and looks at the metal crate, rubs his hands together, and then goes to open it. And within are multiple pieces of technology. Some of them, John, roll a science check for me, please.
Oh yeah. Let me roll that thing.
Oh, 26. Yeah, that'll work. All right. A lot of these are basically junk. There's like just pieces. They are legitimately pieces from the technology of the ancient civilization from like 10,000 years ago, but they're mostly junk. However, there are a few pieces of genuine equipment. You identify them as such. A gravity nullifier, a retaliation nodule, a force dome, a stunner, and an encrypted esper coil.
Would you be able to drop those in chat?
Yes, but not immediately, because my version has
That's
all
fine.
the descriptions of exactly what they do, and I don't want to tell you yet.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Just
Yeah.
the names. Just the names.
No,
I started
I'll post
writing it
those
down, and I could not keep up with you, and so I stopped and didn't bother.
A gyroscopic doohickey, a popcorn maker.
Also makes Julian fries. All right. The roll an insight check for me, all three of you, please.
be a 19.
And a 15 from
15.
Pods. And Abhora, let me know when you got an insight check.
Oh, I've got one for you.
A dirty one, not a natural one. A dirty one.
That's a doohickey, all right.
Just as exactly as advertised. You've kept your side of the bargain. We'll go ahead and keep ours. He whistles and gestures into the shadow. And several other drow appear from around the corner, hauling a metal chest. And they set it down on the ground. You, got something to bring this home there, Captain?
Yeah, my ship will be around in about 20 minutes after they pick up their orange Julius's.
Roll a deception check, please. Versus a 11. So this is not a difficult 22. Okay.
Nice.
Well, then
Orange
maybe
Julius is very popular around here.
the drow all sort of look at each other for a moment. And he will go ahead and walk over, turn lightly on his heel, and just sit down on the metal crate that they brought out and said, "Oh, we'd be happy to keep you company while we wait for pickup. This is heavy. There's a lot in there. You're gonna need that boat. And I wouldn't want to be caught wandering alone out here. There's all manner of things. You have to be very tough and very nasty to make it out here." Asena, you are getting a bad vibe with that insight check from all of these drow, everyone gathered here. This feels like an ambush.
You don't say.
I know that this has been cunningly hidden this entire time from you, and you wouldn't have figured this out on your own, but a 15 insight is enough to reveal that.
As he says that, Asena will respond. Who says we aren't tough?
Right.
I didn't say anything to that effect.
No, but you did infer that if we were to take possession of this cargo, we wouldn't be able to safeguard it unless we had access to a very large ship to get out of here very quickly.
I just said he wouldn't want to. With all
Well, I think we're certainly fine. You don't have to worry about us. Once this deal is secured, we'll be making our way in our own time there, sir.
Roll persuasion or intimidation, your call.
John is going to roll intimidation as he activates his draconic aura. I need everyone here that isn't among our party to make a saving throw against fear.
Is that going to include the captain?
No, John's gonna for now disinclude he knows due to our plasmoid friend, the captain means well. He just has flights of fancy that seem to take hold of him. John's just kind of assuming he's cursed with some sort of wisdom saving thing that he has to deal with. It's sad more so than negligent at this point. So no, he's not gonna make the good captain roll against his fear aura.
All right. What about Glebnor and Salty Jimbo?
No. I like Salty Jimbo, and Glebnor is my bro. We're fine.
Okay. And
that'll be
none of
a
them have resistance.
DC 15.
DC 15 wisdom saving throw. All right.
Yeah, let me just drop that for you there.
Thank you. Okay. That immediately sets them all as John's shadow grows longer, and in the light reflected off the forest world of Perionth, you can just scarcely see his shadow growing looming wings that spread out farther than his actual silhouette would imply. The drow
Not
take
the forest world of Perionth, the dust-filled world of the Spider Moon, right?
The light's reflecting from the forest world of Perionth down on the Spider Moon.
I see. My apologies.
All good. All good. The drow sort of take a moment, glance at each other, and the gunslinger twitches his hands for a brief moment. Could I get perception
His
checks
hands
from all of-
twitch?
Yes, his hands twitch.
Over where his guns are?
No,
No, okay.
sort of out in the air.
I was about to shoot him if his hands are twitching over his gun.
Hey, if you want to shoot him, if you think that's sus, you can totally shoot him.
Well, it is sus, but no, if it doesn't, okay, you ask for a check. If it's not reaching for a gun, I'm not going to shoot him. But if he seems like he's about to react, definitely John would try to react first, for sure.
Okay, roll a perception check. The captain got a 10. He got a 16. Asena, roll a perception check.
I'm upset that you were like doing that good. Like that's
Don't
actually a very good interpretation of that music.
Thank you.
Natty 1. Okay, you have some options here, Pods. You have some options here. 1, chat has given. Luck is on our side. Also, Matt, I'm counting that as singing. You can have a triple threat, one of the 3 triple threat inspirations.
Nice.
Okay, so
Hey.
here's what you can do, Pods. 1, if you have any inspiration, you can spend them to reroll. 2, chat has given you some luck dice that you could spend. 3, you could shoot him because you think he's going for his gun.
Oh, dude, if Asena shoots him, John's shooting him too. This guy just twitches like absent-mindedly from this, and he just gets filled full of lasers and bullets.
How can you put that in front of me and then like I not shoot him? Like
Look, I am an impartial observer. I'm merely making sure that you're aware of the
really?
many options at your disposal.
I just dangled something shiny in front of the impulsive one.
Nobody even played the something shiny card.
You could make a good decision, you could make a cool decision, or you could frickin' shoot.
What'll it be?
This is the good, the bad, and the ugly of DM decisions right now.
I know. Okay, what does the lucky die do? If I roll it, it just adds to it.
It's a
Right?
reroll.
Oh, it is.
And it's a reroll that it's one of the only things that stacks with inspiration. A lucky dice, you actually get to, so you can do inspiration, and if that fails, you can also spend a lucky dice on it.
I want to shoot him though.
I was gonna say you could just
Look,
shoot him.
So here's another thing, all right? I know that Asena made a promise to a literal archangel in exchange for divine powers. And as part of that promise, she had to agree not to kill people when she doesn't have to kill people. But here's the thing. Asena doesn't get to decide whether or not to use inspiration or luck because those things exist outside of the game. Meaning that if you got a natural 1, which led you to believe that he was going for his gun, and you shot him, hashtag
Right.
Asena did nothing wrong.
Officer, you don't understand. I thought he was gonna kill me. He was eating frozen yogurt, and the spoon was very sharp. Okay, you weren't there.
In
You're
Florida,
gonna turn
that'd be legal.
into
It's true.
hashtag Asena shot first.
But only in like 20 years, we're going to re-record this and we're going to edit it so that he shoots first, okay?
Yes, yes.
Rewriting history.
Mm-hmm.
One scene at a time.
It's called a pre-counterattack.
I love how Captain Flig is all about like, yes, we're going to counterattack preemptively.
Is my pugilist weapon a gun? Do I have another gun that I don't know of?
Your pugilist weapons are not... Guns are not pugilist weapons, unless you studied the gun kata, which you have not.
I did not.
Ooh. But what
I'm
if
just
we-
trying to think of like what she would have shot with because
He's pretty close. You have your shotgun, right?
yeah, but it's very
He's
He reaches
also.
for his gun, and you have the time to like.
What if you're
Your
also-
shotgun?
what if your shoulder-mounted predator like cannon comes down and just blows them all to high
Just
hell?
like it's been twitching the entire time. It's just neural uplink, and so the moment that he goes for it, gotcha! No, but like you are fast enough that you could go for your shotgun.
Yeah.
Asena's, what's your dexterity score?
Oh.
It's got to be high, right? It's like an 18 or a 20.
There's a 16 under the 3.
Okay, yeah, you're
Yeah.
pretty fast.
No, wait, that's strength. That's
What's your dex?
14.
14.
Okay. I'll just say I will. You're not going to necessarily shoot first.
Can I just like, if I'm so fast,
Mhm.
can I like run up to him and knock the gun out of his, like punch the gun out of
Yeah,
his
okay.
hands?
Yeah, you can do that. You can do
That's
that.
way more in line with Asena. It's just to beat him.
Okay. For now, only Asena and the gunslinger roll for initiative. And immediately after this, everyone else will go in.
Okay.
I mean, and it makes sense because she's been very on edge this entire time.
I mean, ever since the captain said, "Give me all your, put everything in the bag."
I didn't do it. I
Okay.
got a 12.
So this guy is fast on the draw. So when he sees you going, he goes for his gun.
Now, mate, I had it said that if he went for his gun, I was going to shoot him. So
Yeah,
as soon as he
roll for
goes for his
initiative,
gun,
John.
I was going to say, John, like,
Abhora,
he
do you
sees him twitching, and then Asena's like, wait, he's going for his gun. And then he goes for his gun, and John goes, oh, he's actually going for his gun.
Captain, did you have your hand on your gun as well, or were you playing it cool the whole time?
I was eyeing the back of the dinghy.
Like tactically or with Riz or what?
I was about to dive behind it like a coward.
Oh, well then roll for initiative to dive behind it like a coward. Let me see if I can get a dinghy out here.
I love how Captain Flig is like, who the hell are these people who keep throwing themselves in danger? We had a job to do, and now it's just there's so much killing and shooting.
With cat-like reflexes, I dive behind the dinghy.
Yeah. That's so good.
Okay. Glebnor also has an ability that when he is surprised, they are able to roll for initiative anyways.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Glebnor.
Oh, this is
Glebnor.
perfect. Okay, John, go.
All right, as soon as he reaches for his gun, John just pulls out Krantaka and just unloads on him.
Okay, go for it.
We're gonna have this is obviously not a feigned fee or undead, right? This is
Correct.
just cool. Okay, Krantaka the first.
Computer, play Coriander Combat Mix 1.
And Krantaka the second. Oh wait, I don't know why I had advantage on that. I shouldn't have had advantage, right?
That's fine. We take the 20.
20. Okay, and disadvantage on the second shot. 20s all around.
Okay, so that's 29 points of damage, right?
Yep.
Cool. Anything else?
That's action and double tap. Bonus action, John takes out one of the elemental variable element blasters and is gonna assault mode it and just radiant damage.
Okay. All right. The 27 hits, and his AC is 18, so you get one extra hit.
One extra hit it is. And brrr,
Okay. You just immediately... Anyways, you start blasting. Do you want to move?
I mean, taken after the captain. Yeah, he's gonna. If John can, he wants to try to grab Asena and like get them both behind cover. If not,
No, Asena's heading in a completely different direction right now.
and John's just gonna duck behind cover. He trusts that Asena's gonna be okay, and he's not gonna go prone, but he's gonna kneel down to make sure that he can get in a position. Chara,
Okay.
not Charlemagne. The cat is gonna get behind and is basically just going to position themselves to where they're... Ooh, there's a bunch of bad guys over here as well.
Uh-huh.
Hold on a moment. Charlemagne's here.
Egad.
Hold on a second.
There's also some centipedes feasting on the corpse of an ogre, but they seem to be minding their own business.
For now. Chester's going to go full Charlemagne and turn into a giant cat.
Okay. Take care of some of the ads.
Yeah. So in a moment, Chester draws their crazy magical sword and transforms into a giant magical cat, and is going to start eating people.
Okay. While you're doing that, Asena, because you were the first one to move, the gunslinger saw you go first. John was just incredibly fast, but he's still shooting at you. He pulls out both of his guns and fires 2 of his poisonous pistols right at you as 2 separate attacks.
Oh no.
Okay.
Blam. Does a 19 hit?
Yeah.
Do you want to use a reaction to block it?
Sure.
Okay.
Ooh.
You caught the bullet in your bare hands. Do you want to spend a focus point to
Nice.
shoot it back at him?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Roll an unarmed attack. If you hit, he takes the original damage that he rolled.
Oh snap! That's cool as heck.
You flick it.
Never mind. He takes twice the damage, which means he takes 34 points of damage.
Whoa.
The bullet. He fires his first shot. A moment later, the bullet he fired pops out the back of his head,
Oh my
goes
God.
up, and just falls over dead.
Anyone
Dude.
else?
That might be the coolest thing Asena has done, at least in a very long time.
Of this season for sure, man. Wow.
Captain!
Damn.
As Glebnor surges in incredible barbarian rage.
Get him, Glednor.
Whoa.
What?
Glebnor enters a barbarian rage and runs over the ship and does a flying leap directly towards the drow who's closest to the captain.
Oh my gosh.
Just screaming, because his whole body can be a mouth, because he just makes noise by
Yeah.
jiggling. So his entire body is just emanating battle cries, gelatinous
just
battle
screaming.
cries.
Oh my gosh.
And it looks like I got interrupted when I was doing all this, so I'm just going to go ahead. And he will attack recklessly.
Heck yes. You love to see it.
Wow, a 13. That's terrible. And
How unfortunate.
hold on. I'm going to use ferocious attack on the
What is
13 that missed.
Oh, hello.
So instead, he hits both times with his maul
Ooh.
and just beats the drow into, like, there's smashing
Is his
sounds.
maul just an arm that turns into a giant hammer?
No, he has a maul.
Oh, he does. Okay.
He just pulls it out and just starts beating, and you hear crunching sounds and a brief scream, and then just like splattering everywhere as the plasmoid's translucent form is now covered in blood.
Oh my gosh.
Asena, now that you've killed their leader, it's your turn.
My God.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That's badass.
And they're going to go
so
after
I guess
you.
she's sure. I guess I kind of got a little, probably halfway before he shot at me. Oh, you guys are still here.
None of them have even
A
drawn their
chance to
weapons.
run.
They haven't had a chance to move yet. Everything has been happening faster than they could react.
Also, mate, aren't they all terrified of John because of his
Oh, yeah.
draconic aura?
Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
okay.
and probably Asena too now.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, Asena kind of like just blew this guy's head off.
I'm gonna punch him.
Okay. Roll it. An 11 is a miss. However,
Okay.
chat, again, gave each of you 1 lucky dice that expires at the end of the session, or you could spend money to re-roll because
money.
Screw the rules, I have money is in effect.
How much money is a re-roll?
200 gold.
Okay, I'm down to 4,800 gold.
Okay, that is a hit for 13 points of damage. Are you hitting to stun or to kill?
I mean, they shot first, right? So I can kill bad people.
Okay, well, that one's dead.
Damn.
And you have a second
so I'll
attack.
punch the other one.
Oh my.
What happens to this bastard?
Oh god.
That's 21 points of damage? No, it's 22 points of damage.
Can this one just like fly straight up into the sky and then land like 100 feet down?
Yes, Team Rocket is blasting off again.
Oh my.
That was your
my.
second attack. If you want to use a focus point, you can make a third attack.
Yeah. I spend a focus point
Actually, you can
to make
make
2
the... Okay, you get 2 more attacks. Roll
so
them.
I can get the other 2.
Get him, Asena.
That's
Oh
a
my
hit
god.
for 6 points, and a second hit to finish him off. What is this drow's fate?
Oh, I killed another one.
Yeah. Oops, didn't even notice.
Oops,
He can just
I
land
did it again.
on the other one, so there's just like a pile.
pile.
Of bodies. Yeah.
Okay.
And
There's
then
one.
she'll stand there and like put her arms on her hips and just stare at the other one.
Okay. The remaining drow in this group, seeing all of their compatriots just like team rocketed into space, and John standing back there with the guns and just all of this going on, panics and casts darkness directly at his feet. Asena, does Mage Slayer let you do anything when somebody casts a spell in hand-to-hand combat?
Yeah.
What does it let you do?
Every.
You are too good to me.
Your character has cool stuff. I want you to be able to do your cool stuff.
Yeah.
Let's see. It's been a while since people have cast a spell near me.
Okay, yeah. Within 5 feet, you can use your reaction to make a melee weapon attack. So you can get a free punch in, or you can use the electric blade, whatever you want to do.
Yeah, I guess he's getting punched as well.
Okay. Roll a punch attack.
Yes.
I guess you're getting punched.
And what happens to him?
I think he's also gonna land on the bodies, but
It's
like
just a stack, okay?
Didn't
Yeah.
you see me put my hands on my hips? Why would you do that?
So he was actually trying to escape. He was trying to do a smoke bomb getaway, but all you saw was spell casting, so sorry, nerd.
yeah. It's all kind of a blur.
You just
Sounds like-
Popeye
Great job,
haymakered.
Again, I ask.
Nobody else
Who's
is staying.
next?
Nobody else is staying. This drow right here drops an orb of darkness and books it.
I love that they don't even have time to run away, but you go, "Oh, still here?"
It's not
Sure.
my fault you're slow.
Matt, Charlemagne doesn't have blind sight or Mage Slayer, right?
No, but Charlemagne should have been able to attack them. I just didn't want to interrupt you with what you were doing.
Oh, go ahead and have Charlemagne do the attacks now, because they are trying to
Coolio.
shadow bomb escape.
Great. So they're going to start off by, they get advantage because they've never seen a magic hat with a sword before. So
Can
that's
you
11
click that
points of
ability
slashing.
just so it posts in chat? Because I
Yeah,
just
sure,
I love
sure,
the
sure,
text
sure.
on it.
Is
Is
that
that a cat?
He's got a sword. First time Charlemagne fights a specific foe, all the attacks against an advantage. Only works if they don't know why a cat would be wielding a sword. Does 11 do it, or do we need a little more? kick
What
for that
is
powder?
Charlemagne's proficiency modifier?
Is a I'm assuming a plus.
Charlemagne may use
3.
their reaction to finish.
Oh, it's +3. Okay, Charlemagne
yes.
uses their reaction to finish.
Okay.
When they do the pouncy pounce, if they successfully pounce them, they get a bonus attack with
Drop
their...
it in chat.
Yeah, I'll do that again. Oops, I did it again.
Pounce.
I hit with the pounce.
If the target is prone, you can make an extra attack against it. So
It's the same one. Okay.
that gives you your reaction back. That's what.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Great. Well,
Okay.
there we go.
Is that
they
it for
pounced that
Charlemagne?
one. Yeah, I mean, I think they just get the one, I suppose, and then they're just now a big cat that's right in front of this one.
Okay. Darkness and book it.
Copy
Using
that.
using the darkness to block attacks of opportunity. They are now in full retreat. And there was a straggler down here. Yeah. Move away 30 feet. Darkness. Move away 30 feet.
They're all just scattering.
Darkness. John, it's your turn.
So here's the funny thing, mate. John has Devil's Sight, and he can
Oh,
see through magical darkness. So
How are they supposed to know that?
They don't know that. There's 4 guys left, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. Thanks for that. John has, I think, no more than 3 attacks. Because the element blasters can't take multiple attacks, right? They just get 1 big attack.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot, I can only shoot 3 of them.
Literally
Well-
everybody else gets to go before they go. So
Yeah, John's just going to take 3 shots. He's going to just, let's see here. How far away? No! I clicked off of roll 20. No! I don't know why that button exists. Hold on, let me bring John back up. He's just
While you
going to
do
fire at the 3 closest to them.
okay, while you're doing that, I'm gonna have
Glebnor.
Glebnor
Good.
make a check to see if they can get out of this mess.
Roll 20. No.
They cannot. I'm rolling randomly to determine what direction Glebnor will get. I got a 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. The shrieking, whistling sound as Glebnor runs out here, splats into a pile of difficult terrain. Doesn't see any more hostiles. Runs back over to the captain. Is everything okay, Captain?
Fine, Glebnor. Fine. Just how are you?
Okay.
I was just covering the rear flank.
Very good, sir. And Glebnor's rage ends, and they are now slightly tired.
I rubbed Glebnor on the back.
Okay, well, John's going to variable element blaster this one over here. They're within their normal range, so John's just going to shoot him.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be 11.
That
Can
is
I
not
finish
enough
him?
to finish, but you can use your reaction if you want.
John will use his reaction to give a nice little juicy pop to finish him.
Okay. Let's fire
John
one.
is then going to move into position, I guess let's say here.
Mhm.
Is that good? Yep. And then he's going to take out Krantaka. He's going to fire at that one. Bam.
The revolver goes off with a resounding blam. It is not a quiet weapon. There we go. Okay. Okay. Dropped him.
And then
What's your
he'll
last shot?
step
Double
up
tap?
to here. Yeah, and he'll double tap with disadvantage against this one here.
Okay, roll it.
Ooh.
Natural 1.
Yeah, no thank you. I have a luck die.
You burning that luck die?
Yeah, I'm burning that luck die. Are you kidding me?
Okay, well, that's a hit. The last one drops.
Nice.
Oof.
And so
Blam.
now we just have this one now. John's going to point for Asena. Hey, he's about 2 clicks right over there. He's just going to point out directly to Asena.
Asena, it is your turn. Captain, what happened to your... Oh, I think you got skipped. Captain, for some reason you
That's
didn't end
okay.
up in initiative order. Do you want to take any action?
I continue to cower.
Cowering is a free action. We're going to treat it as dodge. Anyone who attacks you while you're cowering has disadvantage to hit you.
Yay.
Nah.
All right, Asena.
How's Salty Jimbo doing? Are they just kind of chilling, smoking a pipe? This is all
Salty Jimbo, don't get involved.
Subtitle. I guess I'm going to need to have a stat block next week. Asena,
This
you're up.
ain't
What do you
in
do?
Salty Jimbo's pay grade.
Asena's just gonna make a beeline straight, since John said it was
and
that way.
There's no difficult terrain. So the drow's just running, camera in front of him as he's... You know those TikToks that those girls have been doing where like they're running and singing the song at the same time and like their face remains in constant? It's that, except with an Asena flying out of the darkness to just beat the crap out of you. Roll your attack. An 11 is a miss.
Good thing I have money.
Yeah, money.
200 gold for a reroll.
Okay.
Well,
Oh my
the
God.
next reroll will cost 400 on the same roll.
Fine.
Well,
Oh my
the next
God.
reroll will cost 800.
Wait, you have an extra attack? There's only one guy.
And you have luck.
I know.
It's
I'm
just
gonna.
I was like,
I
slot
won't pay
machine,
the 800.
slot machine,
I'll just
slot
do
machine.
another attack.
okay. Roll your second attack. A 17 does hit for 7 points of damage. It's not enough to drop the drow, but they are now at half health.
No way, that's the luckiest draw I've ever seen.
Are they though?
Well, I mean, the last time Asena killed an entire group of them, and now this one survives, clinging
You
to
have your
life.
bonus action, Asena.
Yeah. I'm not killing this one.
Okay, you're fighting to
Ooh.
subdue.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
An 18. And what's the drop here? Because again, down but not dead.
Well, I'm hoping to hit him so hard he doesn't really remember what happened.
Okay.
Amnesia.
of the head. Goes flying forward, hits the ground,
Yeah.
and the battle is over.
Asena's gonna walk back slowly through
The
the
darkness
darkness.
has
I don't know if
cleared.
it's still there. Oh, okay.
Do you want it to last until you walk through it?
Yeah.
Okay. It's flickering out as its spellcaster is knocked unconscious, but it lasts long enough for you to walk through it dramatically.
That's
You
cool.
just see her coming out.
Glebnor leans up against... Actually, Glebnor just assumes their natural form, which is instead of like having appendages, not having appendages, and literally collapses with slight exhaustion. Warp.
Glebnor, there's
A lot
no
of
time to
help.
rest.
Understood, sir. What were you saying, Asena?
He did more than you did, Captain.
Me? I was protecting the dinghy. If we would have gotten a hole in the bow, then we would have sank.
We're not in water.
Yet.
John looks at Asena and does this.
Asena's just gonna like yell, like out of frustration.
What's her deal?
You know,
Women.
she's not used to being on the other side of this equation.
Well, is everyone okay?
What equation, John?
They are now having
Now
a
you
telepathic
know.
conversation, by the way, so
Now
everyone
you
else is
know.
excluded from this.
What it's like to deal with this.
They're just staring at each other.
Incompetent.
No, I didn't say incompetent. It's just that, you know, generally things happen that don't go according to plan, and, you know, Oh, that's where I'll leave that.
Wait,
John severs
the
the
plan.
telepathic connection.
This is part of the plan.
So here's the thing. What the hell just happened, Captain? We were supposed to go about making this deal, and now everyone here is dead, so I guess we get all the goods and make our way into town? Is that what's happening now?
Yes, it's all like I said. Don't trust your allies.
Wait, but were they your allies?
Yes, and that
Oh,
was their first mistake.
I understand. Because I think their first mistake was pulling a gun on Asena. That was probably the error.
Yes, that was their most recent mistake. But historically, their first mistake was trusting me.
That is
Good point.
chronologically correct, sir.
So it was your plan to make the deal and then have them attack and have us protect you.
Yes.
Mate, with Charlemagne's help, John's going to go around and collect all of the dead drow and stash them somewhere where they'll be safe. And by that, they're going to go dump them next to all these carrion animals.
Oh, because the centipedes, literally, if anybody here could speak centipede, you'd just be hearing, "You gonna eat that?"
Yeah, no, John realizes what's happening, and the best way to get rid of these, the evidence of what happened here, is to have nature take its course.
Okay.
Oh,
Speaking
those
of
sexy,
nature-
sexy centipedes.
Oh, God.
I mean, Dargan can definitely eat the bodies.
Oh, that's a good point. Well, we give half of them as a peace offering to the centipedes, and the other half go to Dargan for being Dargan.
We also request a peace offering.
Yep, you got that, buddy.
The centipedes.
Oh, well,
Yes, those sexy, sexy centipedes.
as the centipedes draw closer to eat the drow corpses, we set about adding them to. It was just bait all along.
Oh,
All according
part
to
of the
plan.
Practice your hunting skills, Dargan.
I'm not going to roll this encounter. They have 2 hit points each.
Yeah, I was going to
Dargan
say.
devours the centipedes.
Yeah.
Slimy yet satisfying.
The centipedes, whatever's left of the ogre, and all the drow.
Okay.
Except for the one that Asena spared.
Okay. So you have 1 unconscious drow, and I'm assuming you're feeding all the corpses to the centipede, right? The gunslinger and accoutrement.
Well, the dragon, but yes.
Right. Well, and then the dragon eats the centipede. It's a circle of life.
Exactly. Circle of life. How much does all the stuff, not including the dinghy, all of the packages that we collected weigh?
I don't have all their weights immediately on me, but
What I'm asking is, would I be able to create a spell that can carry 500 pounds, and can I carry them?
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes.
John, ritual casts. While we spend time to figure out what our next move is, John is going to go ahead and ritual cast the floating disc. And then until someone has a better plan, he's just going to kind of continually cast silent image to make it look like they're carrying, I don't know. What would make sense here on the Spider Moon, mate?
Do a history check for me.
I'll do that thing that you asked.
27.
27.
The Spider Moon is notoriously barren of resources. It has very little in the way of metal, very little in the way of arable land. It's a terrible place to be, and it's a terrible place to try to build a civilization. So just having metal scrap or food or anything like that would be valuable here.
Okay, but what about like a donkey? Is a donkey valuable? Like the Spider Moon equivalent with donkey?
They don't have a spider like a
Yeah.
hauling lizard. Yeah,
Like
you
a
can have a
pack
hauling
animal,
lizard.
yeah.
Yeah, you can do that.
What I want to make sure we bring along anything that would be innocuous, anything that doesn't look extremely valuable or important.
Okay, mushrooms, large mushrooms grown for food with relatively low nutritional density. Being
Great,
pulled
we have-
by a beetle pulling a cart.
Perfect. There we go. Beetle
Illusion
pulling a
of all
cart
that.
of yep, exactly, of mushrooms. Bam. Mate, I need you to find me a beetle and a cart full of mushrooms. Stat.
Okay,
The
the beetle I can do,
classic
the cart I can do. We'll talk about the rest. Go ahead, Abhora.
The classic American, the image of Spider Moon travel. Just
Exactly.
let's get on board.
Westward ho.
Lizard ho.
Speaking of the plan, what is the plan?
to get
Well-
back to the ship. I'll make a phone call to those boys back on the ship and get them to come back and haul this treasure. They'll come crawling back once I explain what the plan was.
Sure, none of them have communication devices of any kind.
Crap.
Captain, if I may be so bold, I think a new plan may be in order. You obviously are a very impressive captain in need of a ship. Currently, you have a dinghy. You also have a bit of cargo that we've helped you secure. Might I propose a slightly modified offer to our original? My associate Asena and I still need to get into the city under the guise of your protection. We need to make sure that we can get close enough to a very important key target in order to engage with them. My plan to extricate us from the situation would be to use magical means to teleport us back to Periant. There, I'm certain that by going to the king and explaining how useful you were in this endeavor, despite the fact that your crew had mutinied you, dare I say, you pushed forward during these most rigorous and difficult times, showing the content of your character, and you, your plasmid friend, and our salty Jimbo over there would be rewarded handsomely for your loyalty, possibly getting a new ship.
Sounds
Okay.
good. Let's go with that.
Fantastic. Well then, Captain, welcome aboard. You'll be the captain of our 1-2 punch. So I suppose we'll be 1-2 punch captain or 1 punch captain or Mr.
Then I
Two.
suppose I should be welcoming you two aboard.
Sure. Yeah. Let's go with that.
All right, great. Now that we're all on board, let's go forward.
Now, I must ask, Captain, what was your original plan to be able to spirit us away into the city, unmolested and secured within the guise of whatever it is you were going to do?
Well, disguised as merchants, we were going to go unassailed through the streets of the Spider Moon and make our way to whatever it is we were talking about. And, well, it would have been a lot easier if the dinghy was dropped into the River of Goo, which should be somewhere around here based on this drawing that I have here, and I can't seem to make heads or tails of it. Glepnar, what does this map say?
Sir, this appears to be a drawing of Salty Jimbo making out with me.
Well, that's for you. That's
Thank
your
you.
cut.
Oh. very
I've
good,
been
sir,
seeing
thank
the way
you.
that you've been making eyes at Salty Jimbo, and I knew there was a thing going on there, and you have my full support. Even though I don't totally appreciate that lifestyle, but whatever floats your boat.
Thank you, sir. Expletive deleted. All right, so what we can do here is using the map and using survival skills. If you want, you could try to find the river and then navigate through underground tunnels to actually reach Xogotha by the gelatinous waterways of the underground. Or you could try to go over land and still underground, but not on the boat. Which method would you prefer as a team?
Well, you've got this floating metal thingy. How long does that last?
Well, the spell that John has created is going to last for 1 hour, but as long as he's able to take 10 minutes to cast it, he can keep that going indefinitely. And the enchantment, same thing. As long as he keeps every 10 minutes reading up the casting, it keeps looking like a beetle carrying a bunch of mushrooms. So our cargo will be safely disguised for quite a while.
I think it'd be easier on you if we just haul this dinghy to the river and take that in.
I'd be comfortable with that. What do you say, Asena? Should we drag this dinghy full of stuff to the river of goo?
Sure, that won't catch anyone's attention at all.
All right, everyone get behind the dinghy and push. I'll lead.
Could I
Asena's
get-
gonna tap the dinghy and it's gonna move.
Roll an athletics check, Asena. An 18. And that's a low roll, but it's plenty. All right. And could I get survival checks from anybody here who can do any kind of navigation?
Also sounds like an Asena thing.
Am I rolling?
Glibnor gets a 15.
Survival.
If John can, he'd like to assist Asena. He's half proficient in everything, so he'd be able to maybe shore up any, using his history of the Spider Moon, be able to give her an idea as to how better to navigate this place using her own natural skills.
Then Asena, roll again. You're getting advantage on this.
Okay.
Oh, jeez.
We'll take the
There's my
14.
advantage.
The home field advantage actually goes here to Glebnor, because despite the fact that he has absolutely nothing biologically in common with this particular slime, it's not like all slimes know each other, Captain. God.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay.
But you are able to find your way down into the incredibly slow-moving gelatinous river. However, because it's thicker than water, rowing and swimming in it is actually easier because you get more oomph. And it's weird how that works. So you navigate your
Drowning
way-
must be incredibly dangerous, though, because, you know, it's
and
goo.
takes forever.
Yeah, it's not that it's dangerous, it's that it's a very slow process.
It's actually boring. It's boring to death.
It's the
Boring to
worst way
die in the
if
lakes
you
of
have
slime.
ADD. And so you arrive at the
Ooh.
eastern reaches
Oh,
of Xogotha.
hello.
This cavern, have you heard tale of the great drow capital of Faerun, Menzoberranzan? An enormous cavern covered with fairy lights, huge stalagmites carved with holes, all of them banisters and palaces for the great houses of the drow, an enormous temple raised in the honor of Lolth, dark, cruel, yet beautiful in its majesty. Xogotha is not like that. This cavern is a place of misery and desperation.
Ugh.
Here, people survive with what little they can find. Metal is rare. The soil is not rich. Ramshackle hovels have been heaped upon each other. There are 5 great pillars that rise from the center, indeed, and they have been carved in the shape of palaces, but they are a poor imitation. Over 1,000 years, the drow have lived here on the Spider Moon, and they have made what of a home of it they can, but the very streets are littered with filth. The smell of decay and death is everywhere. This is not a wealthy or powerful people. They are desperate, and they will do whatever it takes to claw their way out of this misery. In fact, where you arrive isn't even really in the city. It's on the outskirts. There are fungal farms all over the place as you make your way through, and they are tended by creatures neither drow nor spider, but perhaps something in between. And no, I'm not talking about driders. Let me see if I can get you a picture of these things.
Sprout.
I was going to say, are they
Wow.
chickens?
Yes.
Oh god.
Yes. John's aware of
Spindly
chickens.
creatures. They have hair and they almost walk like humanoids. They have 4 arms each. They seem to be relegated to this outer area, tending to the crops. And as you make your way through, the closer you get to the city, the more you notice that the gelatinous, slimy river is partially mixed with water. And so it's this watery sludge at this point flowing forth. could I get nature checks from everybody in the room?
Yes, and mate, question: would it make more sense for those of us who do not appear of elven or specifically dark elf heritage to maybe look a little different while we're here?
Yes.
I got a 0.
I got a
Do you want to do
24.
anything with that?
Should I?
Did
you
you
still
use
have
your
a luck
luck
die?
yet? It expires at the end of the session.
Sure, I can use it.
All right, go ahead and reroll that.
Hey,
18. Okay. Asena, you can tell that the mushrooms and other underground life that grows here by this river, it is not doing very well.
Oh.
This sludge is not what it should just be drinking water. Like it should just be irrigated with water, not this sludge. This sludge is bad for it. And John, you can tell that until recently, most of this was water. It's
oh,
only recently been mixed or corrupted by the gelatinous river, which is probably.
can John
Go
take
ahead.
a sample of this weird gelatinous slime
Mhm.
ooze stuff?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, he'll take some for later investigation. Are we able, between Asena and John, can they tell, is the ooze, does it seem to be coming from either up river or down river, or seeping up
Upriver.
from the upriver? Okay.
Yeah.
So from the
Something
city
changed-
itself.
Something changed recently. It's not coming from the city. It's coming from outside the city.
Oh, from outside the city.
Yeah,
Okay.
upriver, you are going downriver because the river flows this way towards these
I see.
pools that you see on the map. So
Mhm.
wherever it's mixing, it's upriver and it's recent and it is killing the crops and the water supply out here.
So where we came from.
Yes,
And we didn't see anything out there that seemed to be a source of any kind?
nothing out of the ordinary. But
Well,
that may be something
gosh.
you can review next time on Coriander Society, Shadow of the Spider Moon. Thank you, everybody, for joining us in our first episode. Super glad to have Abhora with us. And we'll be back in a couple of minutes for Loriander, the post show. Don't go anywhere.